Our stories, our voice, our history hasn't always been welcomed. But we learned long ago that if America won't celebrate us, then we will celebrate our own, told our way, on our time. Today we have thousands of Black creators in film. Thousands of books are on the shelves of stores around the world. But it wasn't always as easy. For Lena, for Hattie, for James, for Zora, for Langston, we fought for a place in American history, and we've empowered our own voices, keeping our stories alive. Remember Philando, remember Mike, remember Trayvon, remember Sandra, remember Oscar, remember Brianna. No more will Black voices go unheard. No more will Black stories go unread. We will write our own history and create our own legacies. And each summer in Atlanta, we will gather. We will celebrate. We speak out. Black voices matter. Black stories matter. Black lives matter. Everybody has a story to tell. Make sure that you tell yours. Create your story. Dream out loud.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a conversation with Julia Royston on behalf of the AAMBC Inc. We are so excited to have this conversation today. We're excited to have you join us. Julia is a Christian fiction author, and we are going to have a great time joining in about her series, her 3-book series, which is currently happening. Hi, Julia. How are you?
How are you?
How's everything?
Oh, everything is wonderful. Everything is great. Everything is wonderful.
That is
I'm not even going
awesome.
to give in to the negativity. I'm going to say everything's great.
Well, you do know that even when things aren't great, there's still greatness in it. So,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you know that. You know that. So I'm excited to talk to you today. This is really awesome. First of all, I love fiction, okay? And obviously we love Christian topics. We have to stay in alignment, all right? Because that is the center. It is the end all be all. So tell us a little bit about you and how you kind of got into this genre, as well as just writing in general.
Okay. So I'm Julia Royston. I own BK Royston Publishing and Royal Media and Publishing and the coaching community, the Book Business Bosses, where
Yeah.
we help you get your message to the masses, turn your words into wealth, and be a book business boss. I've been in business now 13 years. I've been writing for
Wow.
about 15. I have written 60 books myself. I've published
Wow.
more than 300, and I have more than 200 authors signed to my 2 companies and coaching community. So,
Yeah.
books and writing has kind of been my whole life. I am a retired teacher librarian, so I've just always loved books all my life. So that's just a part of it. Really, when I started out writing in 1994, I was in grad school. I was getting my first master's in library science. I was going through a divorce at the same
Wow.
time from my first husband, and I just started journaling. It was a horrific time in my life, and I was doing the poetry journey, and that's the only book of poetry I've ever written or published.
Really?
So fast
Wow.
forward to 2007, God said it's time for you to put the book together, and I'm like, what book? He said, all them notebooks you've been hiding and carrying all over the country, from grad school
Yeah.
to Cincinnati, back home to Louisville. So I got remarried to a wonderful man in
Wonderful.
2006. And then 2007, it was time to put all of that journey together. And so my first book was poetry, and then I started on the inspirational journey. And then after that, I said, I want to try my hand at different things.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of where the fiction thing happened. But because I'm normally inspired by God to write, I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, God, I want to write fiction. He said, start with your story. So I basically, I not basically, I did embellish my own and my husband and I's story, and I just made it perfect, like I wanted it to be, saying the right things, doing the right
Wonderful.
things, and all that um all that goes along with it. I said it in Cincinnati first, but I said it in multiple cities because I just enjoy multiple cities. So that's really kind of how I got started. I am a
Nice.
church girl. I am, I am a singer. I am a librarian. I just kind of put all my worlds and throw them into the story with the tears and the frustration and the, body
Yeah.
imaging and all of that. I just put it all in there. It's everything's in there. So
Awesome. Yeah, it's really, I think that you really take the limits off when you fuse Christian and fiction, because you do have so many ways to showcase these messages and just have a greater impact, and you have the full canvas to create what you need to happen to get your messages across and keep it exciting. That's the
yeah, oh
good
yeah, yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
romantic now, If you
Yeah.
read the Bible, Ruth and Boaz story is hot, and so is Esther and the king's hot. So
All right.
as they say, God is all about romance himself. So don't don't
And
don't
humor.
don't sleep on that.
I'm a big, yes, and I'm a firm believer that God loves humor as
Yeah.
well. God loves humor. He loves people to laugh. So definitely, and I think that's just beautiful that you were obedient in that way to just use that creative space and just go. That is a huge accomplishment. As many books as you've written and published, you've probably well outdone yourself.
Well, I did, I started with Christian fiction and then Christian romance fiction, and then I moved to more of a mainstream romance fiction too. So I've tried my hand, and from the male point of view. So my
Nice. That's
second
interesting.
fiction is all men, white, black, and Spanish.
I
So
love
yeah,
that.
no. So I love the creative process, everything about it. So people enjoy it, they like it. I'm like, let's do it,
Yes,
let's do it.
because
But
we
number
need
one was
it.
Christian fiction. I said I had to start off with me. So I start off with let's go with the church girls first. So that's what I
Mhm.
had to put out there first.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. And you want to start off with your story just so that you can stretch your legs. It's the most familiar, right? When you're writing, you already have most of the facts, and you can stretch it and
Right, but you can always embellish the facts,
yeah.
like I lived in an apartment, but my girl Jillian, okay, so book one is Jillian. She's 40
Yeah.
something, never been married, no kids, a very professional sister, educated, gone to school, pays her own bills, but she's all like, I need a man, I want a man.
Yes,
So
okay.
that's kind of where that started. Now she's like me, on the thick side, so she's she got it going on. No, she knows to put
All
it
right
all
now.
together. Now she's not sloppy, as they say. She's not floppy fat. She got it going on.
Okay, yeah.
She's about an 18-20, which is a good thick size sister, and but she's looking for love. And one of the things about my covers too is that these are married couples on here. So I
Oh,
really like the idea. So
beautiful.
these are the Macklins. They're in Nashville.
I
So I
love that.
actually, had models actually for the covers. So that's book one. That's Jillian. She has the whole body issue. Like, I'm not a little thin girl. I'm a thick girl, and whatever. But what's wrong with me? I don't need a man to pay my
What?
bills. I don't need a man to all that. I just want love, and I can be submissive if I need to be. But I got a high rise. I got a Mercedes Benz. I have
I know that's
a full
right.
company. Oh yeah, I did all my fantasies, all my
But
all my worlds.
that's such a relatable place nowadays, though. A lot of women, not just nowadays. I don't want to say it like that, because it's been, that's been a position. But just nowadays, I feel like it's super relatable because there's so many entrepreneurs, there's so many successful Black women. Just our dominance right now is major in the business scene. So definitely, I like that concept. There's a lot of
Well, I
women.
mean, and then of course this is the year, I mean, between, I've been out, in entrepreneurship for a while, but here, especially in the last year, I've seen so many sisters come along. Like,
Mhm.
like they decided, I'm not getting ready to wait. I'm hungry. I got babies who are hungry. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna use my creative juices to turn it around and jump in the entrepreneur game. whether it's on the side and I still have a full-time job, but that full-time job, I can't put all my trust in that because I
Yeah.
never know what that's going to do. And
Yeah.
COVID, if it didn't teach us anything, it taught us to put our gifts in operation and make sure that we got a stash. You know, Big Mom and them, they might not have gone to college. They might have been cleaning people's houses and ironing and everything, but they had that can. They
They
had a
had a
stash.
stash. I know that's right. They
They
had
all, I mean, as
a
they say,
candy.
whether they had the pocket down in their bra, and they say
Yeah.
they bra National Bank, or whether it was a
Yeah.
Kroger's. I mean, the can up in the club, the coffee can up on the top of the refrigerator. They had it going on. You know, whatever they had, they used what they had. And I think we now have an opportunity to really, really take it to the next level. And you're right, that is a place. But then also the emotional part of it too, you have to review and think about it. You know, are you willing to settle? Now, this is a conversation for a whole nother show, but are
Right.
you willing? Do you have to have a guy who has to have a degree such as you? Does he have to be an entrepreneur? You know, plumbers make good money, and so do the garbage men, and so do the maintenance man, and so do the electricians, and the guys on the line can make 80 to 90,000.
And I
So does
think
he
too,
have to be on in the
yeah.
office like you?
Yeah, I
See, that's
think
something
too
to think
it's
about.
about, normalizing purpose.
Yes.
Just normalizing what we're supposed to be doing and not always what we want to do.
Right.
Sometimes your purpose really will force you to get in your lane, whether that's entrepreneurship or whether it's not. But at the end of the day, everybody has a position to play. And right now, I think it's definitely best for us to keep the versatility in stories and creations, being creatives and things,
Oh
just
yeah.
because
Oh
we need
yeah.
it. Yeah.
And definitely, being open to it. And I'm hoping that through these images that we see, okay, open your heart, open your eyes. You know, what maybe have been before may be
Mhm.
not what you need right now and what you want right now. So what does that look like for you? What does that life look like for you? So that's book number one. That's
Yes.
Jillian. Yeah. So
Love it.
she's single, never been married, no children, got it going on, looking for love. Now, book two, which we really wanted to focus on tonight, but I'm just going to bring the whole series, is
Let's bring
Bernice.
it. Let's bring it.
Bernice is Jillian's best friend. They've been church girls and conferences, and between the Pentecostals and Methodists, they're big
Gotcha.
on conferences, and then Baptist conferences, etc. So they've been in, meeting up. Bernice lives in Chicago. Jillian lives in Cincinnati, another one of my favorite places. As a matter of fact, I was there last weekend. But Bernice is, this is a married couple, the Thompsons. But Bernice married the wrong guy the first time. And he was very verbally abusive, not physical abusive, but very verbally abusive. And so she has a wonderful son who's just her everything. And he's about ready to head off to college. He's a senior in high school. And she's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And I know that that is also a scenario for some sisters. I don't
Oh,
have
for
any
sure.
biological children, but I see it all the time. I poured my heart and soul and everything into this child. Yeah, baby, but he still got to grow up. You fed him, you took care of him, you provided for him, you made all the sacrifices. Now it's time to poof. The nest is going to be empty. So what's going to happen next? So that's her thing. Trying to, she's a hardworking sister, the whole 9 yards, but she's still like, I gotta have a life, and what that life leads to and what that life looks like. So,
Awesome.
so yeah, that's book two. And so
Before
that
you
that
go,
is really,
before you continue, I just want to commend you on taking a writing position that you actually didn't necessarily have experience with, but just taking charge of that role and just you go, girl. Okay.
well, it's
So
not so much
you're
that I
fine. You
have
go.
friends who are in that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like I only hang out with people who are single or
Right.
divorced. And, I know other people who have we've had those conversations of, what am I going to do? He's getting ready to graduate from high school. Oh my God, I'm panicked. And then, we've seen it in the movies, with
Yeah.
the Tyler Perry movie. We've seen that scenario in the
Time and
movies
time
of
again.
what are we gonna do? He's going, my baby, he's leaving. I mean, what am I gonna do? He was
Because
my
it's
man
real.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's a real
that's her real
thought.
place.
But
Yeah.
I just love that, like I said, that you didn't, allow that barrier to stop you. You just
Oh
went
no
on
no no no
ahead.
no no no
Yeah,
no.
I love
I
that.
yeah, I like
More
all of
people need to do that.
the creative process. Oh yeah, all of the pieces, and I highly suggest that if you are an author, and I know AMBC is just filled with authors. Like, what am I going to write? I know I want to write. I want to. You just sometimes you have to think outside the box, and sometimes the story is not only in you, but it's all around you. So if you
Mhm.
open up your understanding, open up your eyes, and open up your heart, you can get it. You can receive it.
And
Okay, so that's book
yes,
one.
yes.
And Bernice's book two. Now, book
Okay.
three is Irma. And now Irma
Ooh.
is for the ladies 50, 60 and above. Like, girl. So Irma, these two people, those are my in-laws. That's my husband's parents. Yeah, so these are the
Beautiful.
Roystons. Okay, so this is Reverend Claude Royston and Mrs. Lily Royston.
That
So
is
this is not
beautiful.
their story, but I needed an older couple,
Yeah,
very photogenic, and they're handsome. She's beautiful.
they are beautiful and they look so
So
nice.
this this story is probably of the three, honestly, Irma is really kind of my favorite because it carries from Irma from a small child who had two parents, but they weren't very loving and they weren't very giving. They were hardworking. She was a PK and all of that, but she didn't have that kind of love and attention and peace, and it was always an uproar and keeping her on pins and needles all the time. So the first man she married, he was the total opposite of her family. Extremely supportive, extremely loving, but something happened to him, and he had an accident
Oh,
and on his job. And really, honestly, this story is based on one of my mentors. As a matter of fact, this one's set in Houston, in Texas. And so she called me one time. As a matter of fact, she got remarried the year before I did, and she had been single for 38 years, and her husband was killed in a work accident. So long story short, she calls me. She says, "I'm getting married, child." I said, "What? Ma, you can't be getting married. You said you didn't want no another husband." Child. So she tells me this story, and I embellish it in this story, but she's still married to this day. But she
nice.
had been a widow for 38 years, raising three children, but a man loved her and she was too scared. She was just like, I don't want my kids to have a stepfather. But she said one day God told her to go to the mall, and there he was walking the opposite direction. And he was
Wow.
like, if you think, and she got grandkids and everything. She said, "Child, I'm too old. I need some new teeth." And she just was on and on and on. So I applied that in Irma. So that's really kind of her whole life of finding love at a later age and a later stage. And the older ladies, like 50 and above, mature. I'm 58. So 50 and
Wow,
above,
you look
this
good,
one
girl.
I wrote for you.
You look good. You look good.
Love at any age, love at any stage. So yeah, I kind of covered the 40 and above. The young ladies, I love y'all. Y'all got your bodies and y'all got your groove on. But the ladies 40 and above, there's a lot of emotional, mental stuff that goes on as far as I'm not young anymore.
Hmm.
Who's gonna love me? Oh my gosh,
I'm
I
not
need a
going through
girdle
this,
on.
probably. I'm gotta go. I'm definitely
Yeah,
not
I'm
going
like,
through that.
yeah,
Yes.
I mean, it's so many things. And it's not that you all in the 20s and 30s don't have the same thing. It's something about turning 40 and divorced, 40 and being single, and 40 and being a widow. You think life is over. I'm done. But no. The Women of the Fellowship series will give you your faith, your hope, your love, and a future that keeps hope
Beautiful.
alive and keeps love alive in you.
That is so beautiful. And I can tell you now, I'll be the one to read Emma, because I'm the type of woman that I like to be 10 steps ahead. I'm very much a listener to the wise. So I would love, I'm that one. I want to see what's going to happen so I can get ahead of the curve.
Yeah, girl, you got to get ahead of you got ahead of the curve. Okay,
Yes.
so all of my books are available on JuliaRoystonStore.com. That's
Perfect.
JuliaRoystonStore.com. That's my own personal online store. And of course, everything else is on Amazon, and you can still get it on Amazon as well. But the Women of the Fellowship series is one that I really love, and I know that you'll enjoy it as well. And as a bonus for me, and a bonus definitely for you, on Kindle, all of my fiction books are 99 cents. So
Wow.
you can't beat that. So you
Can't beat
can
it.
download the Kindle versions for 99 cents. So have a look, see, and enjoy. And
Yes.
please leave me a comment. I appreciate it.
Yes, definitely. And after you go get those 99-cent ones, definitely get the actual hard copy because those books are beautiful, okay? They're
Yes.
beautiful. The images have meaning. There are real couples on there. So that's manifestation right there in and of itself.
Yeah.
And I just love the responsibility behind it. I love that.
Yeah.
It's accountability
Yeah.
for what you're doing, you know? So I really appreciate that. Tell us a little bit about your coaching and just some of the services that you have that tend to other authors and people who are looking to get their books out there as well.
Sure. Well, to have a conversation with me, go to talkwithroyston.com. That's talkwithroyston.com is my free calendar. You can have a conversation. You can find it at juliaroyston.net that you have there as well. My store is in there as well. But you have the ability to let's have a conversation about whether you're whatever phase you're in, whether you it's still in your idea and you in your head and you want it to go to Amazon, or you've
Mhm.
written it and it didn't quite pan out right when you self-published and you need some more advice, or you decide, oh my gosh, this book is good and people want more coaching and more information, go to Talk with Royston. Let's have a conversation, because we can also produce products and services and get your systems in order to turn that book into a business. So let's have a conversation. Talkwithroyston.com. It's free. The first consultation is free. So let's talk about your book, and then we can move forward with that. So talkwithroyston.com is where you can start. I've been in this game 13 years. I've built multiple businesses based on not only my books, but the needs of clients. And I've heard some horror stories, but let's have a conversation, see if my services meet your needs and what that looks like for you. Because getting our stories out, I love the video earlier that you played in regards to getting our stories out. It is prime time. If
Yes.
ever before, this is our time. And then also, remember, your book is your intellectual property. It is just as much estate planning as it is your funeral or leaving who you're going to leave your house to.
This is
That's
true.
intellectual property that is evergreen. So
This is
I
true.
lost 3 clients over this last year and a half to COVID. And that has been a real conversation I've had to have with an attorney in regards to helping families know what to do, because they have a book now, and what does that look like? So it's a real
Right.
deal. It's a legacy leaving to your next generation. That's a real place. So let's have a
That's big.
conversation.
That's big. I'm glad you said that. Definitely give her a call, guys. She is definitely well experienced in this area. And I'm so appreciative to have you on today and to be the honor, have the honor to interview you myself on behalf of AAMBC. So definitely, guys, get your books, contact her ASAP, Julia Royston. And otherwise, look out for all of the AAMBC productions. Check out Black Writers Weekend, Creative Cons coming up, as well as look out for Traces of Mika. We appreciate you, and thanks for watching.
It all starts with a spark. like this thought or this vision in your head that gives you these ideas and these visions of who you want to be. And I can remember myself sitting in my room, writing in my journal about stories and characters of people I had no idea who they were. And I just knew that that's who I was going to be. I was going to write books. I was going to move to Atlanta, and I was going to become this big-time authoress. And I did that. I got the awards. I got the bestsellers list. I met some phenomenal people, and I've helped other people dream out loud. I think that when it comes down to dreaming, it's more than about just getting it done. It's about having fun and enjoying life while you do it. So y'all dream out loud with me.